Now for my top 10 Transformers of 2018. Better late than never. So before we get started, I just want to take care of a little bit of business. If you're subbed to my channel, you have to click the little bell. That way you get notifications every time I upload new content. I'm on a bi-weekly podcast called Blackout Shout. Those links are in the description. I also have a website that I sell t-shirts, hoodies, coasters, mugs, and all kinds of other goodies. That website is dragonStarShop.com. You can find a couple links in the description for that as well. So the reason I didn't do a top 10 halfway through 2018 was because there just wasn't a ton of stuff that I got last year. So I decided to load up for the end of the year and do everything at once. You guys know the drill. I'm going to show you my top 10 robots from last year, give you a really short breakdown on why they made it into my top 10 list. And if you're thinking about getting any of them, I'm just here to give you solid advice. Just like Mom would.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
What's up with you?
Hey, listen, I got a date this Friday. You have any advice?
Brush your teeth, wash your balls, and wash your ass.
Alright, let's not waste any more time. Let's get on with the list. Number 10, Unique Toys Onslaught. It's a pretty cool version of it. He's a big, beefy Onslaught like you'd expect. It's kind of a throwback to the old school MPs. He's a bit more realistic looking, some more line work, more detail, a little more real world. If you're into the hyper accuracy of the cartoon models, this guy probably isn't for you, but I'm really not one of those fans. I kind of dig this look. He's got a cool robot mode, cool alt mode, and he rounds out a pretty decent Unique Toys Combaticon team. I know some people kind of gave Vortex and Blast off a little hell, but I thought they were alright. Number 9, X-Transbots Skids. One of the coolest parts about this is, when did you think we were ever going to get a Masterpiece Skids? I know Skids wasn't a very important character, especially in the G1 cartoon, but he did get a little bit of face time in the comic books, and even more recently in IDW, became very prevalent. Some significance to this guy is he's another one in what's been a fairly long line of pretty decent releases by X-Transbots. The sculpt, as always, is pretty good, except for that face that kind of looks like Neo in that scene from The Matrix. But other than that, he looks great. He's very posable, and unlike a lot of X-Transbots robots in the past, he's kind of fun to transform. And as far as I know, we're getting a new head sculpt. It's going to be coming with one of the Stunticons. Now, some people did report issues with their shoulder. I actually had 2 good arms on mine, so I really have no complaints about this guy. So in my mind, as you'll find out a little bit later on in this list, X-Transbots is kind of slowly creeping their way into the upper echelon of third parties. Coming in at number 8, Fans Hobby Power Master Optimus Prime, or God Ginrai for all you Japanese Transformers fans. Fans Hobby is definitely one of my favorite companies right now. They're definitely traveling down lanes that are unoccupied, giving us a lot of characters that nobody else has given us, and I think that's awesome. I didn't really grow up with the Master Four series, so I always saw this particular character as Power Master Optimus Prime, especially from the Marvel Comics series. So that is why I got this guy. Unfortunately, the head and hands that came with the original release kind of screamed God Ginrai a little bit more than it did Power Master Optimus Prime, but there was an upgrade kit. Yes, I bought the upgrade kit. Gotta love spending that extra $25 just to get exactly what you want.
Fans Hobby Power Baser Upgrade Kit? What?
Like everything else that Fans Hobby's done so far, is really bulky and stocky, and he's a big guy, but he's surprisingly posable for the size he is. And for a Transformer that has the truck and the trailer all incorporated into one robot, he's not really goofy looking from the back. If you're a fan of Power Master Optimus Prime or God Ginrai, I could definitely recommend this one. Coming in at number 7, X-Transbots Wild Rider and Breakdown. Yeah, I know, 2 separate robots, 1 slot. Well, you know what? It's my channel, we're playing by my goddamn rules. So, these guys are 2 more home runs by X-Transbots. I can't believe it. Great alt modes. Robot modes are spot on to the G1 cartoon. Like your dad's mustache, this has 1985 written all over it. These guys are just another step in the great turnaround that X-Transbots had in 2018. I'm excited to put the rest of this team together. I think they're going to be really good. Number 6, Fans Toys Mindwipe. This was a Transformer that was almost accidentally excluded from this list. Because it's Mindwipe, a headmaster bat that turns into a robot that sounds like Dracula and has hypnotic powers. This was probably one of the best Fans Toys figures I've gotten in a long time. There's really nothing wrong with him. He looks great, he has great shelf presence, nice paint, great sculpt. He's also a kick-ass action figure. His great articulation, you can get him into just about any pose. This was a good sign from Fans Toys because before that, you had Weird Wolf that, while he wasn't terrible, he wasn't very good either, and then RC was kind of a flop. Yes, even though she looked good. But with Mindwipe, they nailed it. And that's a good thing because, I mean, who the hell else is going to do a masterpiece Mindwipe? All we need now is that Skull Cruncher. We can call that team complete. Coming in at number 5, Zeta Toys Bruticus. I know they didn't all come out in 2018, but the members of the team that were needed to complete Bruticus came out in 2018, so count it. Maybe it's just me, but there's nothing cooler as far as being a Transformer collector goes than putting a combiner together and stepping back and taking a look at it. All the individual robot modes are kind of goofy looking, but that's not why I got them. And I don't think that's why you got them either. Zeta nailed it with the first combiner. He's pretty sturdy. He's not quite as sturdy as Constructor is, but he's still pretty sturdy for a combiner of this size. I think they did a pretty good job with it. Now when you pose them, you're going to find yourself popping things back into place and tabbing things over again and cleaning them up and stuff, but as far as the display piece goes, just having him stand on your shelf, he's got all the presence in the world. I can't wait for this appearing on. And personally, I hope Zeta rips through every combiner in the Transformer universe. Judging based on this guy, I think that they're going to knock them all out of the park. Come on, man, look at that! Look at that thing, man! Another thing that's worth noting is that the Zeta combiners, even though they're the biggest out of all of them, are actually a little bit cheaper. It's not because of the build either. Overall, if you're in the market for an MP Bruticus of this scale, you can't go wrong with this guy. Coming in at number 4, Make Toys Skywarp and Thundercracker. I don't really have a whole lot new to say about these guys that I didn't already say about Starscream last time around, except that, I mean, they needed to happen. Skywarp always had a little bit more sentimental value than every other Transformer. He was the first one I got back in 1984. He was the one that led me down this ridiculous rabbit hole. I love what Make Toys did with him. I'm glad to have this team complete. I can't wait to get the cone heads. And then those are going to be the last damn Seekers I ever buy. Ever. Because you know a year from now, Takara is going to put out their Seeker 3.0 or whatever they're going to call them. $250 a piece probably. And you know where they could stick those. I can't ever see replacing these guys. I really can't. Put it in the books. Call it a day on the 1984 Decepticon Jets. Coming in at number 3, Takara Masterpiece Sunstreaker. All this talk about Bumblebee, the movies, the popularity, almost made you forget who the really yellow badass was during Season 1. You guys remember Batcube Sunsurge? Not only is the alt mode on point, but the robot mode is pretty awesome as well. He's also a killer action figure. He's got ridiculous articulation. I almost forgot about Chip. I'm gonna catch all kinds of shit for that one. Now, the downside of this guy was that this is the point where the Autobot cars took a major hike in price. $120. But he is definitely the best Autobot car to date. Easily. This is what we wanted, and we got it. All that being said, this is a great representation of our favorite egomaniac, and I could definitely recommend him. Coming in at number 2, Fans Toys Cyclonus. I gotta tell you, truthfully, this might be the best figure they ever did. The alt mode is great, the robot mode's even better. He's built like a tank like every other Fans Toys product you've ever had, but the finish and the paint on this thing is just incredible. Like the second you take it out of the box, it has such a presence. Now I'm not going to sit here and call the X-Transbots Cyclonus doo-doo, but standing next to this guy is no contest. Kind of dig all the samurai stuff that they put with him as well. And the IDW parts, that's a nice touch. Almost forgot the Target Master. But anyways, Fans Toys, we need more of this. This is awesome. If you guys are in the market for a G1 Masterpiece Cyclonus, I would definitely say this guy's the move. Coming in at number 1, my favorite Transformers to come out in 2018, the Oculamax Rumble and Frenzy. Rumble Frenzy. Look, hang on. Let's make sure y'all got this. Rumble Frenzy. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Bruticus, Onslaught, Power Master Optimus Prime, Cyclonus. Put the little guys in first place. Quite the opposite of what your old ladies are all telling you. Size doesn't matter. I mean, here, like Transformers. It's pretty much a flip of the coin between these guys and the Oculamax Mirage for the best robots that company ever put out. They're accurate, they're fun to transform, they're highly articulated, they have a major shelf presence. I mean, they scream Rumble and Frenzy. Rumble Frenzy. Oculamax hit them out of the park, man. Home runs. I can say with pretty good confidence that these guys are going to be the last Rumble and Frenzy that I'm ever going to buy. Rumble, Frenzy. Have we beaten a dead horse enough yet? So there they are, the number 1 robots on this top 10 list from 2018. And I'll tell you what, it was a tight list, man. There was not a whole lot separating the spots. I mean, especially in the 1 to 5 range. If you guys got a top 10 list or a top 5 list or a top whatever list, throw them down in the comments. I'd love to check it out. Thanks for coming back to the channel for another video. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did like what you saw, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one. See you next time. More to come. If you did like what you see, you guys remember Backcube Sunset?